EU lawmakers have reached a provisional deal to make the EU-US trade agreement suspendable in the event of a market disruption caused by a surge in US imports, Euronews has learned from two sources close to the talks. Intense negotiations have been underway between EU governments and the European Parliament over the implementation of the deal, which could cut EU tariffs on US goods to zero under pressure from the Trump administration. MEPs have been pushing for tougher conditions since the agreement was clinched last summer between Trump and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, arguing that it must not become a vehicle for extortion of the EU. A provisional compromise was found on a safeguard mechanism allowing the EU to reimpose tariffs on US industrial goods if a surge in imports disrupts the European market. Negotiators also agreed in principle to include a sunset clause that would automatically terminate the deal unless renewed, though the final timeline remains under negotiation. The Commission is also pushing to remove references to the EU's anti-coercion instrument, seen as the EU's trade bazooka that could curtail US access to the European single market in unprecedented ways. The Commission is also pushing back against provisions suggested by Parliament, allowing the suspension of the deal if Trump were to threaten the bloc's territorial integrity again, one of the sources said. EU negotiators are aiming to finalize the agreement by June, ahead of a plenary vote in the European Parliament the same month, in time for the 4th of July deadline set by Trump.